obviously we are 5 games into the Sun Belt and had a good start with a 2-0 start, but of course the last 3 have not gone as we wanted to. It's pretty rough. That 5-game stretch was pretty rough for us, and I think that our inexperience and our youth showed a little bit just on mental toughness and preparation and knowing that you have to show up and play 100% full-out effort every night in the Sun Belt. So we are trying to bounce back from that and prepare to go to Georgia State and give them a battle. So we've got a lot of conference play left and seeing a lot of good things from our young kids especially, but, not where we want to be right now, I would say.
Thank you, Coach. As a reminder, members of the media, *1 to get in the queue to ask questions. Please hit *1 to get in the queue to ask questions. Our first question is coming from Jarrett with the Sunbelt Digital Network. Jarrett, please go ahead.
Hey, Coach. As you said, you were kind of close to pulling out, really all 3 games this past week. At the end of the game, is it kind of just the youth that affected you, or do you guys need to execute better in the close games down the stretch?
I think all 3 of them were a little bit different. I felt like Monroe, in the Monroe game, they just kind of wore us out the whole game. Even though we were ahead at halftime, it sure didn't feel like it. I don't think we gave good effort in that game. I think we lost that game throughout the entire game. Now, I will say against Arkansas State, we really fought to come back, which I was proud to see. I didn't think that we executed our defensive game plan very well in the first half and clearly let Gamble go off on us a little bit, but I felt like we controlled it a little bit better in the second half and really just attacked the basket, and we played hard and we played to win. I will say that the last minute to minute and a half of regulation that our inexperience maybe of being in those types of games against people like Arkansas State showed and clearly showed through. And what I told my kids after the game was, Arkansas State just refused to lose at that point. They had veteran players that stepped up and said, oh, no, we're not going down like this, and they just made some great plays, whereas we kind of stepped back and maybe played not to lose, which was a little bit disheartening just because we were in a position to kind of get, to have a big upset, really, and clearly on our home court we would have really enjoyed that. So I think it is a matter of our inexperience of not so much youth, because I feel like some of our upperclassmen are making some of the errors, but it's more of our inexperience of having the confidence to win those big games.
All right, and you guys have the second best scoring defense in the conference. It's not normally typically one thing that freshmen are good at right away, but what has kind of allowed you guys to be successful on that end of the court?
Well, I think our kids buy in for the most part. I would say that this past week we had 2 games that we did not execute our defensive game plan at all, which is probably why we fell from first to second in that category, because the last 2 out of the 3 games we've played, we have not played defense well at all. But I think it's a matter of just giving them expectations and holding them to it. We emphasize defense in our practices a lot. We really talk about scout and how we want to defend people. And sometimes that might be a fault of my own because I might spend a little more time on defense than we do offense at times. But that's just kind of the mindset that I have in my philosophy. So I feel like it's just because our kids are buying in and we preach it so much that they know it's important here.
And, offensively, you guys are really high in the league in assists and assist-to-turnover ratio. How much has motion and taking care of the ball been an emphasis for you guys?
Well, I think LaShonda Green is a huge reason why we're statistical leaders in those categories because she just takes care of the basketball so well, and she does a great job of leading our team, and her assist-to-turnover ratio is terrific, and she just really runs our team. But I do think that our team is a team that they can't really key on just one player. I do think defenses are starting to key on Rebecca a little bit, but at the same time, we have a lot of other kids that can score, and we're very team-oriented. We've got to share the basketball in order to be successful. We really can't just isolate one player and let them go one-on-one, or we don't have a Gamble by any means that can just, take over a ball game by themselves. And so we've got to work together, set good screens, have good ball movement, read the defense, and have positive possessions on offense in order to be successful. So, I really feel like we stress that in practice and really try to work together and help each other score. And I'm proud that our kids are sharing the ball enough that we are leading in assists, because that does mean that we're helping each other score.
You mentioned Rebecca. She's averaging a double-double, leading you guys in rebounding and points. Can you talk about what she means to your team?
Sure. She's been incredible, and really a big surprise for us as far as how quickly she's doing it. Not that we didn't think she could do it. I absolutely thought she could. That's why we recruited her. But I am a little bit surprised at the speed that she has developed at the college game, because this time last year she's playing 1A basketball in West Texas and getting triple teamed by 5'8", 5'7", 5'6", and now she's getting doubled by 6'2" and 6'3", and still performing really well. So she is definitely, I would say, the heart of our team, meaning that we have to give her touches in order to be successful. And so our team really has done a good job of trying to get her the basketball, but her presence on the glass is something that we have to have, and I think that was very evident in the Monroe game. I think she only had 3 rebounds. Now, she was in foul trouble and only played 13 minutes, but we got murdered on the boards against Monroe, and I think her not being on the court was a big part of that. So she's very important to us, and I'm very proud of what she's done, and she has done it just from being smart, being very coachable, and just playing hard and wanting to do things right.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jared, and thank you, Coach.